Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today at the America Hires Virtual Job Fair. My name is Chris Perry. I'm the founder of CareerRocketeer.com, a career search and personal branding blog and network. And today I'm very pleased to share with you a little bit about personal branding. And so today's presentation is actually titled Brand Yourself, 10 Ways to Promote Your Personal Brand. And most of this will focus online, but obviously a lot of this can be, brought into the offline realm. So that being the case, let's get right into this. Again, my name is Chris Perry. I work full-time in brand management and consumer goods. And on the side, as an after-hours entrepreneur, I have founded several networks, including Career Rocketeer, also MBAHighway.com, an MBA job search and career network, and several other career-related ventures. And so I may talk about those a little bit at the end, but I want to get right into some tips on how you can promote and establish your personal brand online. So first of all, a lot of people kind of like to ask, what is personal branding? I mean, I think we all kind of understand how you brand a product or a service, but how does this really translate to branding people? And so I've kind of laid it out as the process of, one, identifying the unique and differentiating value that you bring to an organization, team, or project, but more importantly, having identified that, two, communicating it in a professionally memorable and consistent manner through all of your actions and outputs, online and offline, to current and prospective stakeholders in your career. So I know that's a long-winded definition, but I think it's important that there be one. Now, that being said, once you've kind of figured out your direction for your career, or at least your current direction, because we all change at some point, and once you kind of identified your personal brand based off of your unique strengths, how do you promote that? How do you get search results out there to help build your brand and get found and get seen as a thought leader in your area of expertise? So we'll start right away with the first one. And I often start out with some of the basics because a lot of people aren't what I call present. They're not a present professional. People can't find them easily. So being present and found online will ultimately make or break your career. And this will start with your LinkedIn profile. Having a 100% complete profile is essential on LinkedIn. People are expecting to find you there. Recruiters and entrepreneurs are looking for service providers and job candidates on LinkedIn. Obviously, there's tons of things you can do on LinkedIn, but just having your profile complete is key. And I always kind of refer back to the fact you would never hand anyone a half-complete resume. So that's in the same right, you would never show a half-complete LinkedIn profile. Your LinkedIn profile is your online resume of today. Things may change down the road as they do quickly in this digital age, but LinkedIn is important to start with. So that's the first thing. And they give you a step-by-step guide to get to 100%. So it couldn't be easier. Having said that, you should also consider creating a Google profile. Anybody can start a free Gmail account. Whether you use Gmail as your email provider or not, starting a Google profile, which is linked to that, is going to be important as well, because you have to remember Google is the #1 search engine, and in order to be optimized on Google and to be found, joining anything and being signed up on anything that Google provides is going to help you. You have to remember Google is going to optimize itself over other things no matter what they say. So create a quick Google profile. It's very, very easy. You can list all of your accomplishments, where you are, your interests, etc. And then you can link out to other profiles, which, again, for personal SEO purposes, is going to create a lot of inbound links to your LinkedIn profile, to other profiles, Facebook, your personal website, whatever that may be. That's going to help you build your own SEO and get your search results higher up in the search rankings. DoYouBuzz.com is actually a really cool resume tool, and it's very highly ranked in search results. So I also recommend you check that out as another place you can create a listing online. Your Facebook profile. Most of us are on Facebook. I think 500 million plus are on Facebook, but I always go back to make sure your profile is as cleaned up as possible. I know a lot of people say that, but I can't tell you how important that is. Your Facebook profile is often one of the highest search results for your name, and so as a result, you can imagine people going to find you there, and what you have there is going to make or break what they do next in terms of contacting you or not contacting you for whatever the opportunity may have been. So clean it up. I always say whoever's more strict, your mother or your employer, consider changing your profile to be, especially when you're in a job search, to be to be more professional for whoever's strictest in your mind. And then, the last thing, and this is kind of an investment for your career. A lot of people say, I'm not ready to build a website for myself. Well, that's okay. Buy your domain name now, because at some point you may want your own website, and you're going to want a domain name that is actually linked to your name and not something that's really, really long or difficult to remember. So it can be a .com, it could be a .org, whatever you feel comfortable with. Actually, I couldn't get my own .com, chrisperry.com, due to the fact that there are other Chris Perrys out there who also bought their names. But actually .me is becoming more and more popular for people's personal websites. So consider doing that as well. And all of these, most of these are both resume profiles and networking tools. And remember how important your network is in your career as well as in your current active job search. So that's the first thing, is becoming present and connected with others. So people that you know can find you, and the people who don't necessarily know you yet can also find you. The second thing that you can do to promote your personal brand is to answer questions, because whether you really see yourself as a problem solver or not, answering questions demonstrates the value you bring to the table. So there's so many different ways you can do that. It can be several places. Just to get started would be LinkedIn Answers is a Q&A forum on LinkedIn. What a great way to show your value and to provide a quick link to your now complete profile where they can see all of the other things that you have to offer as a candidate or a service provider or as a partner or whatever that may be. LinkedIn Groups you can join up to 50 groups across functional area, industry, etc. Join them and get involved in their discussion boards, because recruiters are there. They're seeing people respond. Again, it's a quick click through to your profile, easy way to get involved. Quora.com is actually a newer Q&A forum that kind of actually adds in kind of the power of like the Wikipedia type optimization and content sharing. So it's a community that is answering questions together and providing answers to all any sort of topic area. So it's another place that you can get involved, and there are a lot of experts on Quora that you may want to get networked with and connected to, who might be able to help you with the next step in your career. And obviously, if you do a quick Google search for any industry or functional area you're in, there are discussion forums out the wazoo for them all. So you don't only have to get involved in kind of these generalist ones that cover all topic areas. You can actually go to very niche ones that maybe some career stakeholders in your area might be present. The third tip I would share is to start blogging. Now, blogging does require time and energy and creativity. And believe me, as a blogger myself, I have encountered blogger's block, or writer's block as I call it online, because I do want to continue to contribute a new opinion and new tips and not repeat anything I've said before. But as you consider how you can start sharing your opinion and your ideas, do consider blogging. Obviously, you want to design, choose a blog theme and a topic that is open enough to as many topics and as many articles as possible, because you don't want something that's so niche that you're going to run out of content too quickly. Also consider what you choose and how that's relevant to the broader industry that you're targeting, because obviously if you pick something completely unrelated, while that's completely possible and good for you to do, it may not help you directly in your career. It just shows that you're involved in social media. Blogs are very, very easy to get started. There are free options and there are paid options. As I've gone through, I started on the free options like Blogger. WordPress also is a leading one that has a free option. But I also then, as I moved forward and wanted to go a little bit more professional with my blogs and my networks, I actually started paying for services and self-hosted my WordPress blog. So if you're interested, there's countless information out there on this, and I definitely recommend you Google it and as you're walking through the process. And I can't tell you how many different blogs are out there that tell you how to start your own blog. So very easy to get started, but do remember they do require a lot of time, energy, and creativity. And if you're not ready to start that, consider how else you can blog. We'll kind of walk right into that. If you're not ready to start your own blog and manage your own website, and maybe you feel less web savvy than you'd like to be, consider just starting as a guest blogger. Guest blogging is a great way to do the exact same thing you would have as a true, self-hosted blogger, but you're getting out on sites that are already established in communities that already have a following. So, easy ways to do this would be to find blogs through a Google search. You can set up Google Alerts, free Google Alerts, to send you notifications when any new blog articles are posted online in your area of expertise. Alltop.com is actually what I kind of call a blog magazine rack online, and it's a great directory to find blogs within every industry and topic area. And so that can be a great way to find some established blogs to contribute to. And you can also, once you find a blog you like, check out their blog rules or any partner blogs that they list on any given page. And that can lead you to other relevant blogs you want to contribute to. And again, easy way to do this is to just reach out to the owner. Everybody has a contact us page or their email on the sidebar, and just ask them, is there, do you accept guest posts? Is there any way I can contribute to your blog? What topic areas would you be interested in? This is what value I can bring. I would be willing to share some unpublished content with you, and always offer unpublished, because that does, if you offer something that's already been published online, it can hurt their SEO. So be considerate of their website and the value they're trying to bring, and their efforts to be found, and offer them articles that you haven't submitted elsewhere. But this is also a really, really powerful way to get seen by people, and you're kind of letting that blogger do all the work in terms of marketing, but you're getting kind of the exposure that you're looking for. Now, even if this is too much to start, I always say just start getting involved with comments. So even if you don't write an entire article, you might get some ideas for future articles you could write just by responding to other people's articles. So again, look for new articles in your favorite media outlets. It can be Fortune, Wall Street Journal. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be business related. It can be Mashable. It can be any site that's within your realm of expertise or interest. Again, do Google Alerts. Get notified when any new articles or blog posts in your area come up. Do a quick Google search to find blogs you can get involved on. Use Alltop. Check the blog rolls. Same tips to find these things, but ultimately you want to get involved, and these comments are going to show up in search results as well. And if you have a very insightful comment or response, not only are you networking that with the person that wrote the article, but you're also networking that with anybody that saw the article and saw your response. And maybe you never know what career stakeholder has seen your comment and thought your insight was very valuable and potentially valuable to their organization. So again, another tip for you to consider. Another way to get involved, whether you blog, guest blog, or comment on the side, is to write reviews. Writing any sort of thoughtful review to a book, a product, anything in your industry, your area of expertise, demonstrates your opinion and the time that you took to invest yourself in learning more about your industry in your functional area. So this can be, I worked at Kodak in an internship during my MBA program. If I was a tech expert, maybe I'm reviewing products, electronics, cameras, digital picture frames. It could be anything. Or if I'm in an area where it's more around your ideas and whatnot, maybe it's books that I'm reviewing. So again, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, whether it be books or products, not non-book related products. You can always obviously even review something on your own website or blog, which obviously brings some traffic to you. And you can always let the author or the company know that you've reviewed, for which you've reviewed their books or products, that you have done this, so that they can come to your site and potentially offer their thanks or their response. And that can get some networking going. So that's another great way to show that you're taking, I guess, a more involved approach to the industry and your area of expertise. Getting publicity. Obviously, we all want to be famous to some degree. Getting quoted online in blogs or other online magazines, or even offline in books, print magazines, periodicals, is definitely a way to show your expertise and to be kind of gain some credibility points. Obviously, this adds a credential for you to share in your job search. it also really supports your personal brand and is something you can kind of highlight in anything, any networking, any interviews you do throughout the future. So one tool that I really find valuable is helpareporter.com. It's actually Help a Reporter Out, and the acronym is HARO. But it's a free service that basically links reporters, journalists, authors, bloggers, anybody who's seeking an expert to be quoted to support their articles and their publications. And honestly, you just sign up for free emails that get sent out multiple times a day in any category, any topic area, and you respond if you find yourself a potential source to be quoted in their project. Honestly, I've gotten quoted across the board in Wall Street Journal, Smart Money Magazine, ABC News, CNN, The Ladders, Monster.com. I can't tell. I have a full list of places that I've been able to be quoted just in my area alone, in marketing and career search and personal branding, just by using this tool. So I really recommend you check it out. It's a great way to get branded, add some credibility points to your resume. And geez, what a powerful thing to be able to say on your resume or even in an interview that you've been quoted in the Wall Street Journal or in some publication or media outlet that's valuable and relevant in your industry. So just consider checking that out. All of these are very, very powerful resources, very, very powerful tools, and most of them are free. So, I mean, it's a win-win all the way. Number 8, getting published. Now, obviously, we all know that published authors have some credibility just that follow them. The beauty of today's digital age is that traditional publishing is changing. And so while it is important and can be more credible to be published by a true publisher, so to speak, and to be sold through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and any other bookstores, consider not only looking at traditional publishing, and I always offer Writer's Market is a great tool for any type of writer, poetry, short fiction, nonfiction, etc. It's a great tool that helps link you to agents and publishers and journals and publications that are looking for authors in those areas. But you also there's been a huge growth in self-publishing, and actually remember you have to think somebody who's been a traditional published author but who isn't as found as often online as someone who is a self-published author is not actually going to gain that same comparative credibility that someone who is found but who self-published their own work would in today's market. So do consider self-publishing. I've self-published multiple times. It's so easy, often very almost free in most cases. Some tools that are really easy to use are like Amazon's Create Space and Lulu.com are two places where you can publish your own work. Create Space is really easy. I've used this multiple times. It's almost free. You can do a lot of this. You can even pay some designers to do professional design. But if you can do it yourself, you submit your artwork, you submit your files through Word and through PDF. They put the book together. Within 5 days, it's up on Amazon, and you got a book that looks like any other book, and it's print on demand, so somebody can order and have it delivered to them, and they're not going to have any idea that it wasn't any more real than all the other books that they could find at a bookstore. So there are a lot of people's questions around this that I've answered in the past, but honestly, I definitely recommend checking out self-publishing because that's going to be an industry changer as it already has started to become. And e-publishing is also, you can self-publish as well as get traditionally published through, e-publications, but you can create just a quick PDF and share it on your website, on your blog, through slideshare.com, through scribed.com, and any other places that share, any sort of document sharing. This is a great way to get your stuff out there, and it doesn't have to be officially published by anyone or even you. It can just be a PDF that you've converted from a PowerPoint or a Word document and shared online, and those can go, those can become quite viral if they're really valuable, and if you share them with the right audience. So again, getting published carries a certain prestige and credibility, and it's starting not to matter as much how you do that, whether traditional, self, or e-publishing. So do consider different ways you can demonstrate your thought leadership in your industry. Become a YouTube sensation. Number 9. Publishing in some sense doesn't have to be through the written word. It can be through video now. YouTube is obviously just one place you can share your videos, but obviously sharing, loading them up on YouTube and then sharing them on your website or on your profile, or linking out to them from your resumes or your business cards or whatnot. This can be a great way to demonstrate your value with a one-time video as a candidate, or even as an ongoing kind of series on solutions to problems, your responses to different books. Maybe you do reviews this way. I mean, there's so many different ways you can use YouTube and or the power of video to enhance your brand and share your thought leadership with your networks. And then number 10, step up to the podium. I mean, anybody that is offering an event, I mean, anytime, if you've been to any event, conference, workshop, the person at the front of the room, whether you perceive them to be the number one expert in this area or not, is perceived an expert. And what a way to become a thought leader than by stepping up to the podium and offering your expertise in the form of some sort of event. So it can be in person, it can be over the phone, it can be on the internet as a webinar. Leading an event is going to carry some prestige for those who hear you, as well as for those that see that you've offered something. And it's a really powerful way to build your brand. I mean, in my own area, I've been doing more and more events, and even today, I'm offering an event. So this is, an example, a firsthand example of how you can build up your expertise and your thought leadership in your area, and share that with others in a valuable way, and network with others as well as a leader. So just some quick ways to get started, for those who haven't done any at all. Offer to speak at your local college. It can be a community college, it can be an organization, it could be your alma mater, and say that, obviously within a relevant area of expertise, offer, an hour workshop for students or alumni. This is a great way to get an in-person event, and obviously the more credible, and professional the venue, like the college or, an organization, an association, it could be Rotary, it could be any of these, professional associations people join. The more credible it's going to seem when you share that with others. You can also offer webinars through GoToMeeting, WebEx. You can offer teleseminars through services like freeconferencecalling.com. Most of these, in many cases, are free. So these are really powerful ways to offer events to people across the nation and across the world. I mean, my partner and I on CareerRocketeer offer a Career Studios biweekly career teleseminar, and we have people from Australia and the UK joining in at different times, even people who are staying up quite late to come to an evening teleseminar, but they're finding this valuable, and they're able to access this because of the power of the phone. So don't limit yourself to local events within your physical locality. Do remember you can access people across the globe as well as across the nation. And promoting the event and managing registrations has never become easier, especially through, LinkedIn has an events, a place where you can promote events and obviously take registrations. But Eventbrite.com is a great tool for managing your events, managing people who, registered, sending out emails, follow-up emails, as well as emails to remind them to join. We use these tools, and again, they're free. You can even charge for events too, and it'll manage your, the collection of the money, and then they take a small fee. But it's a great way if you're trying to, build up if you're starting and don't have your own management systems to use. So again, can't express enough how important it is, if it's relevant and appropriate at your stage in your personal branding process as well as in your industry, to step up to the podium in some sense of the word and get involved and share your value. I mean, you don't have to be in marketing or something seemingly education oriented to get value out there. And obviously it could just be applying your functional expertise to a specific industry or a specific problem. And this can be very valuable, even if you're not necessarily teaching someone how to do something. It can just be sharing your advice, your take on something, and it could just be more of a discussion, because obviously an event can be two ways. So having said that, I've kind of covered 10 easy ways, and I kind of tried to ladder them up in terms of easiest to more challenging. But obviously, as you become, go from novice to expert here, you're going to be able to do all of these things to some degree, whatever's more most appropriate for your industry. And I hope these are beneficial to you. If you have any questions, I'm always available by email, CareerRocketeer@gmail.com. You can see it at the bottom of this About Me slide. And again, my name is Chris Perry. I have an MBA from the College of William & Mary Mason School of Business. I'm a full-time marketer in brand management and consumer goods, but really found my passion in the career search and personal branding space during my MBA program when I worked in career services and helped some of my fellow students. I saw a lot of gaps there and got really involved here. So I definitely recommend you check out CareerRocketeer.com. It's a free team blog. We've got experts from all over sharing expert advice on every aspect of career management, job searching, and self-marketing and personal branding. If you have an MBA or considering one, definitely check out MBAhighway.com. It's similar career advice, but obviously tailored more to the MBA business professional. And definitely, through any of my profiles and whatnot, you're going to see all the other ventures that we have going on. We did just recently launch Linked Up, the ultimate LinkedIn job search guide, which is a 50-page, no-fluff LinkedIn job search tool that can help you. It's $5, $4.99 to be exact, as an ebook, PDF that you can download immediately off our site. It's easy to find on CareerRocketeer.com. I definitely recommend it for anybody looking to optimize their presence and activity on LinkedIn. And we just have all of our partners and bloggers have tons of great resources, both free and paid, that I recommend you check out. So thank you again, everyone, for joining me today. I hope everybody got a lot out of this. And again, I'm always available for questions if you're kind of mid-process or even more advanced and want some more advanced tips.